Hi, it's Rabbi Aharon again with our weekly attitude adjustment. I want to share something very special with you today. Actually, I want to share two very special things with you today. One was something that was given over to me in Uman this year when I was there for Rosh Hashanah at the kever of Rabbeinu, Rabbi Nachman ben Fegi. And the other one is something you just need to know. We were sitting at dinner when the Rav gave over a Gemara. Now, I would normally take you into a Gemara because it's something that you'll get to later on, and you don't need to know much about most of them right now. You'll learn as you go. But this one will get your interest, I think, because it's so very, very important. The Rav was talking about a particular Gemara that he had learned years ago, decades ago, he said, in which it talked about four people. Two people who were ready to be hanged on the gallows. Both of them had done about the same crime, the same intensity of crime. They had the same basic backgrounds. And they were both praying fervently because they knew their end was near. And there were two other people, both of them ill in hospital beds, both with the same type of disease, both with the same degree of the disease, both with the same health backgrounds. And it says that of the two men on the gallows, one walked away and one was hung. And of the two in the hospital beds, one was healed and the other passed away. And he says, and the Gemara just leaves it like that. He said, I could never understand. For decades I puzzled over this. Why would it say this? Why would it tell us this? What is the meaning? And then he said, this last week I was blessed to find out what was the meaning of this. He says the difference between the ones who lived and the ones who didn't live was not the intensity of their prayer, was not how bad their situations were. The difference was those who survived, those who were healthy, those who went on to live. They believed that Hashem, their Father in heaven, that God above, wanted them to live, wanted to hear their prayers, and was willing to help them in their situation. The other two, it was a Hail Mary pass. They figured they had nothing to lose by praying. Do you see the difference? The difference in believing, in actual emunah, in the fact of knowing that Hashem listens to every word his children say. Because he's who he is, he can do what we can't do. He can give his undivided attention to all of us at one time. And he can do it with ease. But he wants to know that we believe also that we're not just saying words, that the words we're saying are important and that we believe he wants to help us. And that as his children, we're asking for his help and he wants to help us. Now, this brings me to another area. Someone this week said to me, Rabbi Aharon, one of the things I have a problem with is I'd like to daven more, I'd like to pray more, but my Hebrew is not what I think it should be. And I'm thinking it's coming across as gobbledygook to Hashem. And I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't be doing that because I'm not doing it very well. So let me give you an example I gave him. I said, are you a father? He said, yes, I am. I said, okay, do you remember when your kids were 2 years old? He says, very well, I remember. I said, did you ever come home from work so tired you couldn't even think straight? And your 2-year-old comes running up to you, all excited, and says to you, Daddy, today they kicked about the refrigerator and the kitchen, and there was no place. And you look at this child, and of course, what do you want to do? You want to smack him because you couldn't understand a word he said. Of course you don't want to smack him. You love him. And what you love even more is that he's taking the time and the effort in his excitement to share his excitement with you. He's trying to communicate with you. So when you're reading and your Hebrew's not so great yet, it will get better. You just have to practice like anything else. But it's not so great yet, and you're mispronouncing some words maybe, and you're maybe missing some words accidentally, not on purpose. You're doing the best you can. Understand that Hashem will fill in the blanks for you. He knows what you're trying to say. Unlike us, we don't know what our 2-year-old's trying to say. He knows what we're trying to say, and he takes it for what it's worth. And he appreciates the fact that we would take the time and the effort, so much so that he calls them malachim, the angels in heaven, and says, look down there. Look at my son David down there. He's praying to me. And do you know something? I know for a fact he'd rather be out playing golf today. or on his boat today, or watching football today, or whatever he would be rather doing. But he's not doing that. He's down there, he's davening to me. How can you not love him for that? Because Hashem, if we can love our child so much through something that is not quite perfect, how much more, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000 times more does he love us for doing the same thing? So keep practicing, keep moving forward, stay on the path. Have a great Shabbos, and we'll talk again next week. If you like what you saw, pass it along to a friend. They might like it too. If you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to write them or to write me at my email address, which I've given you, which is newlife, NEWLIFE 181818 at AOL.com. And tell me, Rabbi Aharon, I'd like you to talk about this, or I didn't like what you said about that. But let me know what you think. I'm open to critiques, and I'm open to suggestions. Have a great week ahead.